What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into the Queen's Lounge podcast. I am your homegirl, Shay. Welcome to the lounge. I am here today with you to bring another new episode with my homegirl, Jamie Taylor. She is in the building, and today we are going to be talking about Christian therapy, all things therapy. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce her and allow her to let you know who she is. Sis, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are.
Hello. As she said, I'm Jamie Taylor, hailing from Kansas City, but I now reside in Texas, the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for accepting the invitation to come and have a sit down with me about therapy. We know that when it comes to therapy, it's a very complex conversation.
Right.
Some people believe in doing it, some don't. Some people believe in just go to Jesus and leave it at that. But I
Right.
am a firm believer in you need both.
Right.
All right. You need to lean on Jesus, but at the same time, it's good to have someone just to vent to, someone to just, get some of the heaviness off.
Right.
Just to kind of be verbal about what it is that you're going through, So I think it's very important. It's very needful. Me, myself, definitely have gone and will continue to go because it has been very beneficial for my life. So, sis, let's get into it, shall we? Okay. Question number one. How do you understand people's problems as a Christian counselor?
When you say problems and understanding them, you mean as far as like how do I approach it, or?
Yes. Now I know that you are a person that people feel very comfortable with confiding in, very comfortable with coming to and kind of, venting, letting you know what it is that's going on. What is your Christian counsel to them, your opinion about what it is that they're going through?
It's mainly, most of the time I try to leave my opinion out of it unless somebody asks me. Most of my friends or my family, they know, they be like, I need counselor Jamie. And then they're like, okay, I need regular Jamie. And I'm like,
so you already got
it. Right. They already know, there is a difference because of course, there's the girl, leave that man alone. And then there's the Bible, there's that.
Yeah.
So, pretty much, I mean, I try to take every conversation just to seriously to give the best, not really give the best advice, but lead someone to the correct place in which they want to actually be and make a decision. I never want to help someone make a decision for them. I want you to get to a point we can discuss, different things, pros and cons, or give you some tips on what you should think about or what might be important to you in a situation, and then allow you to make your decision from there, knowing that you got me to support you. As long as you're not harmful to yourself or anyone else. And, we live in life. So there's going to be ups and downs, just not even, talking, biblically, there's just going to be ups and downs in life. And so you just sometimes need somebody to ride that wave with you. And a lot of people don't have that. And so being that person, that confidant, somebody to lean on, however, is just something that I find myself doing.
Absolutely. Because life be lifing. Okay.
Right.
Life be lifing. Now, one thing that I want to ask is, are you the person where they have to say, give me one or the other? Don't give me Jamie, but give me the counselor Jamie. Because I think sometimes when friends or family come to us, we just are just one person. You know what I mean? We're just straight spiritual with them, but they're really wanting the friend Jamie. You know what I mean?
Right.
So how do you decipher the two?
I think my friends say that, and they mean they normally want the counselor. They're like, go into your other place, because depending on the setting I'm in, especially if you're my friend, right? So it's like, me as one person, but of course, if I'm speaking with someone who doesn't, I know automatically they're coming to me as a counselor, somebody to pray with them, things like that, and that's a little different. But my friends, they do have to tell me, like, because they know I will ride the whole time. Because what? But
what we doing?
Like, well, let's go ahead and look at what Jesus would want us to do.
Exactly.
But if you want to ride, we still can.
Exactly. And I think having a friend that can do both, hey, you win it. You need one of them in your corner. And then I think knowing when and where to play the part.
Right. And it's important, we, just because we're Christians, we can't forget about, we can't sacrifice or neglect our humanness. So it's
I
like,
agree.
I don't want to sit up here and say, oh, well, because I'm a Christian, I shouldn't be hurting. I just need to toughen it up and just lay my cross down for Jesus. Although those things do sound good, and eventually we should hopefully get to that point. But at
Yes.
the same time, I want to be able to say, hey, somebody did this to me and that hurt me. And I want
Right.
to be able to acknowledge that I'm hurt. And how do I help get over that hurt through Jesus, not just, I can't be hurt because I'm a Christian and I'm just supposed to forgive people, because
Yeah.
that's not real. We just pushing stuff under the rug. That's not real.
And not really addressing the issue.
Right.
I definitely agree. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm going to school for Christian therapy as well. It's something that I really wanted to do,
That's
and it's something that's really been, heavy on my heart.
Yeah.
And I can tell that it's something that God has ordained, because it's something I can't shake.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's something I just can't let loose.
Right.
So it's definitely destined for me to be in that field. And so when I, wanted you to be a part of this particular segment for this interview, I definitely had to, kind of dig in your head a little bit about because I mean, you're actively doing it. Me, I won't start until late fall, but you're actually diving into it. And so one thing I love about Christian therapy is it's not just pushing Christianity down someone's throat. Right. Because as a Christian, there are different people in different walks of life that we're gonna come in contact with. And the last thing I want to believe that people want when coming to Christian therapy is for you to just push your religion down their throat, or to, push your belief down their throat. And so being able to be a Christian, yes, but being able to speak to someone that doesn't necessarily identify with your religion, but being able to speak into their lives, and they wouldn't even be able to know who you are, but just by the living of your life, or by you speaking whatever it is that you're speaking into their lives, they can tell.
Right, exactly. I'm one of the and definitely congratulations to you and wanting to take that step.
Thank you. I'm trying to be like you.
I'm trying to be like somebody else. Because it's so, when God uses you in a way that you don't even expect him to use you, it's so humbling, and it's so like surreal. And even now I'm like, I was having a conversation with one of my classmates last night, and I was just like, I'm really spouting off Bible knowledge and, having theological questions, and this is me.
Yeah.
God, you do okay. All right.
Yeah.
Sometimes when God uses us, it makes us feel like we're in the audience but we're also watching ourselves in life.
Absolutely.
Because it's just when you follow him, you're gonna find yourself in places that you wouldn't imagine. And I definitely didn't think that I would be attending a graduate school of ministry at all.
That's amazing though. That's amazing. It's such a beautiful accomplishment. I know your dad is like cheering you on. He's got to be your number one fan.
Yes. I love talking to my dad. He, in my undergrad, which I got in psychology and in Bible, my dad was a big help to me. I love having conversations with him because, of course, with him being in a different age group growing up, and then also, Christian based as well. He's more of a traditional. I'm more
modern.
My relationship with Christ is kind of different than his, but of course we see things differently. And so it's just good dialogue. It's fun. He helps me. He teaches me still, my dad's a master, literally he's a master scholar, if anything.
I'm definitely going to be reaching out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely reaching out. Your dad is the coolest. And I've encountered him once or twice. And I recently encountered him. I went to go get my hair braided by Miss Sean. And your dad was in there getting his hair cut.
Oh, right.
And I was like, I know who that is. That's Tammy's dad.
Yes, girl. He is.
It was really good to see him. He's cool without even trying.
Hey, girl, he is a walking Bible and commentary.
I love it. I love it.
So
I love that.
He enjoys, and that was one of the things that was really rewarding with graduation, just my dad's excitement, just knowing that, or I guess feeling that accomplishment, or I reached the goal that he wanted for me.
That's awesome. Okay, so question 2. What books do you recommend to encourage others? Do you have like any devotionals or any like go-tos that's kind of helping you through this journey of Christianity or Christian therapy?
To be honest, I really don't.
Hmm.
I mainly like we of course have like assignments through class that books we're supposed to read. My church, we have a daily devotion, um,
Okay.
but mainly, which is the daily word, and
Hmm.
then I pretty much still kind of listen to podcasts or watch. I love Sarah.
Oh
Sarah,
my
I
gosh.
love Sarah.
We're
I
related. I
I
love her.
love I love Sarah. I love Priscilla. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm saying them on a first name basis because I feel like I know them.
See
Even
there?
though they know
It's a
me.
personal thing.
Yeah, it definitely is. So I still like the clips. I like Steve. I like Michael Todd. You take different pieces, but most of all, the one thing that I've learned is really to just find peace in the Bible.
Hmm.
Find my strength in the Bible. Take those verses that either we learned when we was younger or that we're learning now, or even finding new verses to help support me and where I am. And that has given me a lot of strength more than what I'm saying? Because this is God talking to me. So I ain't really gotta
Exactly.
listen to everybody else because if God is telling me, to be strong and be courageous, and God is telling me that He'll give me rest, and God is telling me not to have anxiety, and
Yeah,
all of those promises that He tells us and the reasons why, then it's like, Lord, I trust you,
that's it.
and because I trust you to deal with whatever is going on, I'm gonna just go to you. We just gonna talk. We just
That's it.
I might cry and I might fuss and I might vent, but at the end of the day, I know he got me.
That's it. It's something about knowing where your comfort lies.
Right,
You know what
right.
I mean?
Yeah, and that's one of the biggest things, with Christian counseling is that hope. You know what I'm saying? That you have in Jesus, that faith that we have, that belief that we have, and it encourages me.
Hmm.
So just literally, my Bible has been something that has really given me my daily encouragement, especially when
Yes.
I'm doing things.
I love that. If you are anything like me when it comes to studying, like if I have to do something at church,
Mhm.
and when it comes to studying, I have so many Bibles,
Right.
dictionaries, notebooks, like
Yep.
all of that type of
Because you want to
all of
get
that
it
type of stuff
all.
just be all over my kitchen table. And I'm just like, okay, I started here, I ended here. Now, God, you got to help me put it together.
Right, right. And that's the thing. And that's good that you do that because that was one thing that I learned. I think especially in the Black community, and I'm gonna just put it out there, we don't read our Bible. Christians don't read their Bibles, but specifically in the Black community, we do a lot of waiting on the pastor, to teach us this and to wait till
Absolutely.
Sunday and things like that. And I really I know I heard Bishop Aiken say it once. My Pastor Larry, has said it. If you only eat on Sunday and on Wednesdays, you starving the rest of the week, and it's the
That's
same thing with
it.
the word. And so when you one thing, but getting back to what I was saying, we don't read the Bible because we don't know how to read the Bible.
Hmm.
It's like I'm gonna just stick to this King James version. No, try some other versions.
Yeah,
Line them all up. Compare and contrast. It's okay if you get the one that you understand, and then you go back. It's okay if you get a commentary. It's okay if you get a dictionary. It's okay
yes,
if you only read a verse. You know what I'm saying? Figure that you and God figure that verse out, and
exactly.
but we just want to be like, I can't get it. It's boring. And so we kind
Hmm.
of put it down and wait for somebody else to interpret for us. And that's not what God wants.
Yeah, and it's dangerous for you for your own life.
You said a whole word right there. It's
It is.
dangerous.
It's dangerous for you in your whole life because when you're only listening to one person and
Right.
you're not going back and doing the follow up, or you're not
Yeah.
going back and studying it for yourself, you know what I mean? I would like to believe that you are under leadership where they're being honest about what it is that they're reading, that they're actually in the word and
Right.
living it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's another thing to have to go home and study it and get it for yourself. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because, like you said, it's one thing to hear it on Sunday and Wednesday, but then what are you doing the rest of the days of the week?
Right.
And I think
No.
we get so used to the routine of hearing the same scripture to where we think we know it because we hear it a lot. So it's just easy for us to repeat it. Listen, you just
Right.
not knowing. You just only hearing. You only repeating what you're hearing.
You only repeat what you're hearing, and sometimes it doesn't hold the same weight. Because see, when you go back and read it for yourself, God might give you another revelation. He might
Listen,
the pastor might have skipped over this point, but that might be
okay,
the point that you needed for your
okay,
own self. So yeah,
absolutely. It
yeah,
hit different. It hit different.
definitely.
Absolutely. Okay, so how does your faith affect your view of counseling?
So that's actually a recent question that I can kind of answer. So in my undergrad, I wanted to be I wanted to be a LPC, a licensed practice counselor.
Mhm.
But in recent learning, I won't be able to practice or do counseling the way I want to if I leave my faith out. So like I said, because I do believe that it is a biblical foundation, because I do want to focus or bring people back to Jesus through counseling. That's why I'm taking the Christian counseling route, because you're, of course, with ethics and things like that, you're not
Yes,
able to push the Bible like you would as an OPC.
absolutely.
Counseling. So my faith is literally the driver. I mean, it's God, the reason why I'm even in this position.
And
It's
out here
all
thriving.
chat.
Listen, I know that's probably just a half of it. Just you already got done with the first phase.
Right.
Now this phase is hitting the home run.
Yes, ma'am. I did 120 credits
Oh my gosh.
in 3 years. I have a
That's
double major.
amazing.
Right. 2 kids,
Listen.
full-time working, and
Okay.
still vacationing and kicking it.
Okay.
And still made the dean's list. That ain't nobody but God.
That's how you do it. You live
Yes,
life
ma'am.
and handle business.
Got to.
I love that. That's amazing. Okay, so the next question. What role does scripture play into Christian counseling?
Scripture plays the major role. It is Christian counseling is going to be, as far as for me, it is, like I said, the foundation. I want to be able to take biblical principles, biblical truths, and help people see how they actually apply to their life. The Bible is living. It was good back then and it's great now. And so those same principles that Moses and Abraham was talking about, Paul, the new church, all of those things still apply. It's just a little different, but it's still the same, especially when you read about the new church in Acts.
Absolutely.
Paul's letters. We the same people, okay? The same people.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, here's the next one. Will you include prayer in your future counseling sessions?
Yes, ma'am. I try to include prayer. I really try to, now specifically dealing with people, I try to include prayer all the time, whether I say a prayer with that person or I say a prayer by myself. But in my counseling sessions, I would pray. I would specifically pray before. I would pray with the person, probably pray in closing, and then also in my own private time at home, praying for my patients, care seekers, clients, whatever you want to call them as well.
Okay, that's awesome. How would you prepare yourself for a counseling session?
Prayer. That would be first. because you never know what you're going to get. You never know what a person is dealing with. You want to make sure it's kind of like personal preaching, if you kind of think about it. And so you want to prepare yourself in a similar way, except instead of a whole mass group of people, you're just talking to one person. You don't know possibly what they're dealing with. You don't know any of that. And so you don't want to say the wrong thing to someone that pushes them further away from God, that pushes them further into their hurt.
Absolutely.
You truly have to be centered and being able to be used and focused by God to be able to even speak to someone and reach them the way he wants you to.
I definitely agree with that too. Are you the type of counselor that wants to be as transparent as you can be?
I have no choice. My life is crazy. So it's like, I have to be transparent. I do want people to know that I've been through some things. I'm still going through some things, and I'm not
me too.
But he's still allowing me to move in this way. He's still using, that's my biggest testimony, is that if anything, if God is still using me, then I know he can use you. If I'm still here, then I know you can make it. And if I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, thriving and no longer just surviving, I'm actually thriving and where I'm at, which it might look chaotic to some people, but I'm at peace. And so
I know that's right.
If I know God can do that for me, then I know he can do that for you.
Absolutely. That's a blessing. That's really a blessing. Out here flourishing like a palm tree.
I'm glowing, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, listen. Okay, skin glowing. Come on now. Okay, here's the next one. What is your educational background and what roles does Christian counseling play in that?
So my undergrad, I did at Dallas Christian College. I did psychology and Bible. So with that, I really like that I did the psychology portion because I was able to, even though it was integrated or Christ-centered because I was at a Christian school, I was still able to see the science part of psychology. And I'll still be able to take that into my counseling sessions, or I'll still, that's where it comes in. You know, we're no longer just talking about some abnormal behaviors, but when we're talking about things that might actually need further intensive or rehab or you know, things like that, that's when I know when hey, I need to go ahead and refer you out. You know, you need to go ahead and see, this is more of a doctor and doctor and Christian counseling type of thing, but there might be more of a physical or imbalance or impairment that needs to also be taken care of as well, not just the heart.
Okay, that's awesome. Look at you, got referrals and things, got people you know.
It's all about the network. It's all about the network.
I love that. That's awesome. I think it's a great benefit to be able to have a counselor, a Christian counselor, one for the benefit of the soul, a benefit of the heart, and then also if there's additional healing that needs to take place. It's also important to have a therapist where you can go sit down, get your heart and soul together, and then you can get your mind and everything else together when they're referring you to someone so that you can keep that healing going. Because healing takes time. Not only does it take time, but it's dealing with multiple parts of the body.
Right. And that's a good point that you focused on in regards to the soul, the heart, the mind. You know, all of that is tied together. Your self-image is tied to all of that. And that's the big part of who you are, who you think you are, who the things that you allow to happen to you, the things that, you know, happen to you and you take on. So how we see ourselves plays a lot into our actual mental health and whether it's positive or negative.
I definitely agree with that. Okay, how does Christian therapy help you change and grow?
I mean, for me, my approach will be transformational, and basically with that, it's more of a discipleship, it's more of a maturing a Christian. So moving, you know, seeing that actual spiritual growth, that spiritual maturity, session, encouraging you to read your Bible, laboring with you in the Bible, studying with you in the Bible. It's not just you know, I'm sad, you know, it's not just I'm sad, but it's also, hey, let's make sure we're moving you from one point to another in Christ. That way you're also able to stand on your own, and you have this time you have me to hold on to.
Yeah. Do you have a method of, you know, once you graduate, once everything is settled, you open up your practice, okay, and get your clients and things in there? Do you have a method or the way that you want to handle doing your like beginning to end when it comes for them first coming in until almost graduating, if you want to say?
Right. I feel like I'm kind of coming up with that now. In my master's program, we basically are covering the specific like Christian counseling skills and approaches and things like that. So those are the things that I'm currently learning. I would say in what I'm currently practicing, because of course, even whether I'm qualified, I'm still you know, counseling even at this moment. And so it's like I pretty much just do it's encouragement, you know, encouraging, hey, or just checking on people. You reading your devotion, you reading your Bible, you praying, you know, just checking in with people, and that encourages them because it's like somebody else does care about my growth. Somebody else does care about me. Somebody else does care about my growth in God and my relationship with Him. And if I can see this person, you know, still, my biggest thing, and I'll kind of digress. My biggest thing when I was younger, growing up in the church, was I don't want to be like those people, right? In the church. And so it's like, now that I'm one of those people, I want to make sure that I'm transparent. I want to make sure that I show exactly what it means to be a follower of Christ. And that's not always pretty. That's not always its best. That's not always,
not at all.
You know what I'm saying? And so just to encourage them to walk alongside me as well as I walk alongside them in this journey is what I want. I mean, I think of it as it's friendship. It's
Yeah,
literally like discipleship or friendship in the church.
that's awesome. I think it's also beneficial to have a counselor that doesn't just check on you when you're in their office. Because I
Right,
think the last thing a person wants to feel as if they're just another number or
right,
just, another check or, another, $100 bill, that I'm
right,
paying you hourly to just come sit on your couch. But
right,
for someone to really care, not just about their job, but the person,
right.
which is the most important part. I
Oh, of
think it's
course,
so awesome.
of
That's
course.
really, really awesome.
When we look at Jesus, who we're supposed to be following after,
Hmm.
he cared about the heart. He cared about the
Sure
person.
did.
You know
Sure
what I'm
did.
saying? He didn't just leave them out there, or he always made sure, or tried to make sure, gave them the choice to whether they wanted to accept him or not. And so
Hmm.
I want to continue that, my whatever the situation is. That's why I say it's friendship, because I'm not going to really look at you as a client unless that's just what you want. But I mean, to a certain extent, we're bonded. We have a bond. You're my sister and my brother in Christ, and it's still my obligation and responsibility outside of my title to be a cousin
Yes,
and a brother to you, or brother
absolutely.
and sister to you.
Absolutely. Now I got another question for you. Do you have any rules set when you open up your practice? Do you have any rules set that, okay, once you come in, the only rule I got is for you to completely be open? Rules like that, not rules that, when you come in, I don't want you to talk, I'm gonna do all the talking. Not them type of rules,
Right,
but type of rules for them to completely be themselves, to
right.
completely be able to lay it out all on the table.
I definitely want to make sure that I have an open and an honest dialogue and
Mm-hmm.
conversation with someone. I know that may not happen that first time. Um,
Right.
a lot of people, uh, a lot of people know me or find me to be approachable. I hope it's God led, like they came. But even if it's not, I would hope that I would um have an atmosphere in which they would feel comfortable to being open. Um,
Absolutely.
you know, other than other ethical things, making sure we don't do this or making sure we don't do that. One thing though, my professor kind of told me the other night, which I thought was really cool. She was like, if you see me or, we interact and say we have another relationship, like we attend church together, or however, I won't speak to you unless you speak to me. And I thought that was very important, because it was like, I don't want to let other people know that I see you if that's not
Mm-hmm.
something that's okay with you. So I
Uh,
think that's very important, to make sure that we keep that confidentiality, even even in other social realms and things like that.
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's a part of that comfortableness that I want to be able to set up for my clients.
And I think it's out of respect too,
Right.
that confidentiality, like you said, is just a respect between you and, the individual, and
Right.
making sure that they're still in a comfortable space, even if they're not, in the company of just with the two of you.
Right.
So I think that's very important. Okay, so my next question: what's some great benefits of counseling?
Whew, some great benefits of
It's a
counseling.
lot of them.
It is. I mean, one, if you don't have a friend, you have a friend, right? You
Yes.
have a friend that even if they don't say anything to you, you are able to vent to. You don't have to,
Hmm.
a lot of us have those friends that want to be combative. They want to try to fix your problem for you. They don't
Yeah.
know what exactly you need at the moment you need it. And so just having somebody to listen to you is always a plus. Um, in psychology, Freud was one of those people that was like, hey, if you just let people talk it out, they'll figure out their own issues, which I'm a
Hmm.
big believer of that, because
Me too.
sometimes you just need to get it out. And once you get it out, you're like, you know what? I actually could just
It
do
wasn't that bad. Yeah. Or
right.
you answer your own question.
Exactly. So that's a benefit. Having someone to sometimes help break down those additional um, thoughts, help you categorize things, help you organize things so that you are able to think clearer about
Hmm.
your next steps or your situation, so that you're able to move forward. Having someone to identify things that may be causing you issues now, or the reasons, characteristic traits, any of those things that sometimes people don't point out. Having an objective view. I'm not a friend. I might be, but I probably am not your friend. You don't have to feel like you have to hide with me, because who am I going
Yes.
to tell?
Right.
Those type of things. So there's a lot of benefits. I think we go through things and we don't know how to deal with them, and we don't have
Mm-hmm.
people to help us know how to deal with them. And so we
Right.
end up internalizing things or dealing with, pushing it, shoving it under the rug or however, and we just process everything incorrectly. And then we end up hurting ourselves more in the long run than what the actual incident would have been had we just been able to process it properly.
Correctly. Are you do you have like tools that you're going to be giving out, step by
Yes.
step things to kind of, help navigate through the journey?
Right. So depending on, again, what the situation is, a lot of things that I just, even now suggest is journaling, writing, daily, exercise, even eating, sleeping. These are all, I mean, these are just normal things that you can do, to help with your mental health and making sure that you are at least trying to be your best self, right? Or
Yes.
striving to be your best self. But like I said, again, depending on the situation, different exercises, different tips, different Bible verses, different scriptural exercises will be provided, is what I mainly would plan on doing.
Okay. One thing I love about going to therapy or talking to my therapist is the tools part. Because a lot of the times, and depending on how long you've attended a counseling session or have been seeing your therapist, it makes it a little bit more easier to use the tools that have been given to you. Because I know oftentimes when you're going through life or when life is life and at the time, it's hard to pull on those tools that you have.
Right.
But because of the current state, them tools go right out the door. So one thing that I love is I've learned how to sit in it. I've learned how to think on it.
Right.
And to use the tools for that particular situation.
Yeah.
And to implement those tools in the situation. And then I know going forward, this is what I need to do from now on. And then having those tools kind of relaxes me. It puts me in a mood of, okay, now what's the resolution? How am I going to solve it?
Right.
If I can solve it, if I got to come back to it, I'll just come back to it. But I love being able to have the tools in place to be able to use those for any situation that I may be going through. Something else that I love about going to counseling is the atmosphere. I love being able to walk in there and all of a sudden I just feel a sense of relief.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't even got to say nothing. She doesn't have to ask me questions. You know what I mean? I could just sit on the couch and instantly I just am relieved.
Yeah.
It's one of them feelings like no other. Like it's hard to describe.
It's a stillness.
Yes.
A peace.
That's a good word to use. Yes.
It's like when you go in there, you know that you're the focus. And whatever, you want to talk about or whatever you want to deal with, that's what the focus will be. Or you're able to truly shut out everything, because I mean, how often can we truly shut out everything?
Exactly.
On that counseling session, you're gonna shut
Listen.
that door.
Okay.
There's a couch.
Yes.
And so it's like I can just sit here and be quiet. That's another counseling session, or another way of counseling is just sitting there, just being, just having someone present and just sitting with you in, like you said, in whatever you're in. That's another approach of counseling. It's just being there.
Yes.
So I totally understand.
And I love the fact that my therapist and most therapists are like this, where they just allow you to feel the feels. I got that from Charlamagne the God. I just feel your feels. And I love that I could just go in there, sit on the couch. If I got to cry it out, if I have to scream it out, if I have to, hold the pillow and, struggle with the pillow to get it out, whatever it is to initially get that emotion out before even starting, that's something I need to do.
Right.
Because at this point, it's so heavy.
Yeah.
And it's weighing me down so much. I need to get some emotion out.
Right. We hold so much stuff in, just.
Absolutely. And I don't even think it's intentional.
No, it's not. But for some reason, right, you don't find your space that you may be in throughout the day or however safe enough for you to go ahead and release. And so it's a place where you're like, you know what, I know what this place is. This place is designed for me to rest. This place is designed for me to let this go. This is the place that I do this at. And so that's why you're able to just release.
Be comfortable. Yep. and it's something about the comfort. Just that's where I know my comfort is. And of course I have peace at home. You know what I
Right,
mean? I have, but it's so much stuff going on at home because you have so many things you have to do at
right.
home. But being able to go to a therapist's office or a counseling office and just sit, you don't have to worry about being disturbed. You don't have to worry about, I'm on a time, well, you're on a time limit, but you
Right.
don't have to worry about, trying to do so much stuff in this little bitty time that you
Right.
have, allowed it to you in a day. But going there is just, listen, let me get this 10 minutes out and then we can proceed. So setting the atmosphere, I think, is a huge deal
Yeah,
when doing counseling. It's a huge deal, not only for the therapist, because you got to get your mind right. You know
right.
what I mean? Because you just never know what type of people you're going to encounter or what they may be going through that, they encounter. Are you the type of therapist where you don't take on the person's issue, but you're empathetic or sympathetic to what they're going through? Because I know, when it comes to a family member or a friend, sometimes it's easy to try to take that on.
Yeah, that's one of what I would say my what people would say my opportunities to work on, because I am very much so an empath, and I
Uh-huh.
will cry with you. Depending on the situation, I can be either real nonchalant or I can
Uh-huh.
real emotional with you. And so just trying to make sure I keep that balance, making sure that I also protect myself, because I know I
Yes.
am self-aware. Like I know, there's certain topics that I probably won't discuss, or I won't move into until I know that this is where God wants me to be in this topic, because it is still, tender or dear to my own heart, or
Uh-huh.
I know that it will take me to another place, things like that. Those are things I just have to guard myself of. But
Yes.
for the most part, I mean, we're gonna be in the trenches together.
Okay. No, we walking this thing out
Right,
side by side. Okay, so
right.
two more questions. My other question is, will you ever not accept a client because of something that, doesn't really fall in line with your guidelines that you set for your practice? Because I know you just can't accept any and everybody. You know what I mean?
Right, right. So, I mean, there are different reasons in which you would in the words of turning down a client. Those are just things where
Mm-hmm.
you want to just be like, let me refer you to someone that I think can
Yes.
help you better than I can. Like I said, certain topics, I already know, like, y'all don't want to talk to me about that, because I might not be able to give you Christian
Okay.
counselor. I'm about to just give you Jamie, and y'all don't want her, okay?
Right, right.
So certain things, and then of course, just understanding when you, and this is for anyone, when you're looking for a counselor, whether they be Christian or however, you want to make sure that it's a good fit for you. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
just go with the first person. It's the interview process, and that's pretty much what most of the intake assessments are, is to make
Yes.
sure that you are a good fit. I mean, if I'm a woman and I find a man, a male counselor that says he only wants to counsel males, well, of course he should turn me away, things like
Exactly.
that. So I definitely want to make sure the people that I am serving or laboring with, or counseling, are actually a good fit.
That's awesome. And you just answered my second question. I was going to ask, what stipulations for yourself when it comes to choosing clients? Do you have an age limit?
So my main focus, and this is my God-given focus, I think, is the kids. The
Listen, that's me
the youth
too.
and
Adolescents and children.
yes, ma'am. The youth and the family dynamic is my heart. Right now I serve at my church, which is, let me put a plug in, the greatest
Hey, go ahead, put that
church,
plug in.
what I'm saying, on this side of heaven, Greater
Yes.
Missionary Baptist Church. Shout out Fort Worth, Texas. But I love the kids, and a lot of times we, of course, they're, just visually, they're our future, but
Correct.
they're also lost. And working in the church and seeing how there's little things that occur that we as parents, and even with you being a new mom, there are decisions
Yes.
we have to make, and even though they're good decisions, we don't really always think about how our kids are going to be affected by those decisions. And
Correct. Yeah.
sometimes our kids get shuffled and lost in transition, and
Yes.
we as parents have either dealt with stuff and moved on, or, I mean, look at it like this: if you in counseling, about a situation, your child probably also needs to be in counseling about that.
I agree. I agree with that.
But we don't think about it like that. You know, if you're grieving and you lost a family, a parent, or that child also lost a grandparent. Don't
Correct.
leave them out, or not allow them to be able to have that same counseling opportunity as you, just because they're a child, because you never know how that actually is affecting them.
Yes.
And so, just things like that, of course, in alliance with our actual vision at my church of building families by growing people. The family dynamic is crumbling in our society.
I agree with that.
Being able to keep the kids, and parents, just being that mediator, that liaison, giving them someone to reach out to, because of course, I mean, we was all kids. Ain't nobody trying to listen to you. You're not trying to listen to your mom and daddy. But
not
if
at
you
all.
listen to another adult that you think is cool, you know what I'm saying? And they say the same thing, you like, all right, bet maybe
that's kind of how it goes.
Right. Yeah, right. So it's like I had that. She wasn't she might have been a Christian, but she still helped point me in the right direction. And so I was grateful for that. My older sister, I was grateful for that. And so I just want to be that plus more, because again, I want to add that Christian perspective for the children. One of the biggest things you see nowadays in churches is your 30, 40-year-old parents, right? They decide, or adults, they decide to join church, or they decide to get saved. Well, you got this 13, 14, 15-year-old trying to figure out why we got to come to this church every Sunday.
Exactly.
Why y'all got me in youth
They're
church.
uninterested.
And what are these people talking about anyway? Mama, why we got to do this? So, just to be able to help them even transition in that, and get to know God for themselves is something that my heart cries to do.
Yeah, I think it's such a precious age. And that's my whole purpose for wanting to do Christian counseling, not only because God is pulling me in that direction, but just for the simple fact that I love kids. I taught, I babysat. I have family members who own daycare. So I've been around children my entire life. Right. And I just love kids. Absolutely love kids. Yeah, and they're at the age where you can just mold them. You know what I mean? It's not too late.
I think they might love me. No, I'm just waiting. I love the kids. They know Miss Jamie love the kids.
Yes.
But I have a special relationship, I guess, with children, maybe because I'm childish or however, but I would say young at heart, right?
Yes, yes, that's a good word to use.
Kids. And in a way, it's like I said, my heart just goes out to them, because they're just trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
they're just trying to figure it out. And sometimes we as parents just don't make good decisions.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad that we have people like yourself and, other counselors and therapists who want to invest into the children. You know what I mean? That we still have people who care outside of just the parents. You know what I mean? I think that can also be, a child's cry for help.
Yeah.
When they don't think anybody cares, or when they don't think anybody want to hear it, or, well, you're not even old enough to have an opinion.
Right.
So I'm not really, worried about what it is you're saying.
Right.
But very much so, kids struggle with things as well as adults do. You know what I mean? And the older they get, if it's not addressed, or the older that they get, and if it's not, talked out, or if they're not able to vent or express, it will probably grow into something else.
Right. And they turn into these adults that we walk around with.
With this childhood hurt.
Yeah, with unresolved trauma. And it's
absolutely.
I don't want that for you. Let's talk about it while you
listen. Okay. We got enough of that.
Yeah, let's talk about it now, so that you can grow and heal past that, and be able to be a functioning mentally, emotionally, and physical adult.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that. Well, listen, before I let you go, okay, because this was a really good conversation. Therapy is something I love to talk about, because it took me up until my adult age to actually appreciate what therapy was. And it just started off with marriage counseling.
Yeah.
It started off with marriage counseling. I was like, you know what? It may be some things I need to address personally.
Right.
That, I don't want my husband to feel like he got to fix.
Right. Because
that's not fair.
That's the
because I ain't trying to fix nothing you got going on.
Say that twice.
Period. Okay. I am not, sir.
that's the biggest things with relationships, whether especially romantic, but romantic or platonic, they pull out things in you that you might not even know were there. And
Yes.
so the fact that you were able to see that in marriage counseling and, take that from there to go ahead and work on yourself and individually so that you can be better for your marriage.
Yes.
Awesome. I definitely commend you.
Absolutely. And it is a constant work.
Right.
It's constant work, and I'm steadily putting the best foot forward, but I'm just glad I made the first step. Christian counseling was something I was always, or not Christian counseling, marriage counseling was something I was always going to do. Absolutely always going to do. But the fact that I was able to address some things personally really helped out. So before I let you go, I've been doing this with all the ladies, okay?
Okay.
It's called This or That.
This or that.
So what I'm gonna do is I have I guess you can call them words. You can choose which one better fits your life. Okay? Or which one you prefer. So let's get into it. So you prefer heels or flats?
Flats.
Okay, flats.
Can I put an asterisk sneakers?
Okay, so flat / sneakers.
Yeah, I wear my tennis shoes.
Yes, you do. Shoe game is cold. Shoe game is cold.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, relaxer or natural? I see right now that you're rocking a natural and it's cute.
Thank you. Natural, yes. I let the perm go years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I think I haven't had a perm since 2000, and Jada was born in 7, so probably at least 2006. I haven't had.
Wow. So did you transition from natural to locks? Because I know you had locks at one point.
Yep, I went from a perm to natural to locks, then back to this.
Okay, you gonna get locks again?
No, I actually I deal suffer. However, I have alopecia.
Really? Can't even tell.
God. So it is genetic, and so
okay.
I keep it with the little cut.
It's cute because not everybody can rock that.
Thank you.
And I'm one of them. I can't. But I tell you one thing, I just recently became natural. To be 3 years in December. It will humble you. No, for real.
You gotta find the right juices and berries to get that.
Girl, oh my Lord. It will humble you.
I see you got some thick hair, so that arm.
Girl, oh my gosh, it's thick. I said, you know what? Braids is it. That's it. I'm just gonna keep it braided because it humbled me. Okay. It humbled me. Okay, so next, weave or braids?
I'm gonna go with weave.
Okay.
Yeah, just due to I don't really do the parts and stuff because and putting the stress on my hair due to the alopecia.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah, definitely weave. I'll put a wig on, melt it down, get my lace.
Right. Okay, I feel you. Okay, comedy movies or romance movies?
Ooh, comedy.
I know, right?
Comedy, you can keep the love.
Comedy, I love a good laugh, and I love comedy shows.
You said what you say? I'm sorry.
I said comedy shows I love as well.
Yeah, comedy movies. Yeah, that's where I'm rolling right now. I need to laugh.
Okay, I can respect that. Okay, dress or pants?
Dress.
Okay, lipstick or lip gloss?
Gloss.
Okay, full face or natural B?
Natural.
Period. Okay.
I like getting my makeup done on occasion, but I just feel like somebody else. So as long as I can go, and he blessed me with this one.
Yes.
Somebody like to look at it every once in a while. If you don't scare people, I'll take it.
I had an interview last week, and I was telling the young lady that I didn't realize how much makeup actually goes on your face when it comes to a full face.
Yeah.
I said it's a lot of makeup on your face when you have a full face of makeup. I said, my God, I use a whole pack of makeup wipes just to get it off. To just be something. It'd be cute, but it'd be a lot. It really be a lot.
It's a lot.
It definitely is. Okay, sundress or maxi dress?
Ooh. I'm gonna go
now. Listen, this is what I'm gonna say before you make your decision. Sundresses for me are more body, hug to the body.
Okay.
More huggable. Maxi dresses to me are like balloons. They are really big.
Oh, okay.
And
Well, yeah,
comfortable, almost like lounge wear.
yeah.
So
So
to
I
speak.
would say sundresses then.
Okay.
I don't like the way my shape is. If I wear the big, I'll look bigger.
Me
I
too.
need something to kind of,
Curve me out.
yeah, there you go.
Absolutely. Okay. So next one. Pantyhose or bare leg?
Bare legs.
See, growing up in the church, we sick of stockings.
It's put them somewhere. Now I will wear a designer pair, like little fishnets with the design.
I got a couple of them.
Depending on the occasion, but
yeah, I'm bare legged all day.
Stockings and the pantyhose.
Oh my gosh. First Sundays, your choir is on to sing this Sunday. You got to be in full uniform.
Right.
I'm so glad that we transitioned from that to, go ahead. Y'all can wear the legs out. Just make sure the dresses is long enough. I can deal with that.
Look, I'm going to stay in the back with the kids and just wear my jeans and Jordans. Okay.
Okay. We can do that too. We can be all out comfortable. I'm with that too.
Right.
I'm straight with that. Okay. My next one is staycation or vacation?
Vacation, please.
Yay.
Actually, anywhere outside of my house, it's okay.
That's a new one. I'm gonna have to add that to the list.
Yeah. So with Dallas Fort Worth being so big, like I can actually do a staycation in Dallas, or I can do a staycation in downtown Fort Worth, and I'll feel like I'm on vacation because it's places that I've never been or however. So just being able to get out of my own space and kind of free my mind is really cool.
That's awesome. I love a good vacation too. Anywhere out of Missouri. I don't want to go to St. Louis. I don't want to go to Branson. I don't want to go to the Ozarks. I need to be out of Missouri.
Right.
Out of that mug.
What's funny is as long as I've lived in Missouri, because I moved here when I was 9 and I didn't move to Texas until I was 27. I have never been to Branson. I have never been to the Ozarks. I was just having this conversation today.
And you lived here that long?
Yeah, my parents always took us everywhere else.
Somewhere else, yeah.
Right.
Yep, I'm with you. I lived here since I was 14. I'm 34. Okay. And I have been to Branson. I've been to the Ozarks. I've been to, but yep, I'd rather go ahead and take me somewhere else because this ain't it. Okay, shorts or skirts?
Shorts.
Okay. Tennis shoes or sandals?
Tennis shoes.
Absolutely. Well, listen, sis, that's my that or this or this or that. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day just to come and have a conversation with me about therapy. I wish you the best on your endeavors. God is really doing his thing in your life, and I'm so excited to just be able to be on the outside looking in on what God is doing. You continue to thrive and continue to flourish like a palm tree. Okay, period. Because you out here doing it, sis.
Don't get me to break down the palm tree. We ain't got time for that. We ain't got time. But that palm tree, y'all better read about the palm tree.
Listen, out here flourishing, honey, and it is so exciting to see. So I want to say thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to add before I let you go?
No, I just want to say thank you.
You are so welcome.
I appreciate it. I'm gonna put you down as my first official podcast. So I can knock that off my bucket list. It's been a pleasure. And to all of those, I would say, if you are struggling with something, or even if you're not, you just need a friend, find someone to talk to. You can find me on Facebook at Jamie Taylor. If you don't want to talk to me, that's fine too. Google something, find somebody, and make sure that your mental health is okay.
Absolutely. And I cannot wait until graduation day.
Thank you.
Because I'm gonna be applauding on this side too. Because when you graduated from this last time, I was like, yes, ma'am, come on and do it. That's Black Girl Magic, period. Okay, sis, I'm gonna let you go. This will not be the first or last time I invite you on. But thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I will catch you next time.
All right. I look forward to it.
Yes, ma'am. I'll catch you later.